All right, so Peyton's bedroom, one of my favorite sets. When I first wrote the pilot, I knew that Peyton was going to listen to albums instead of be like really high tech. I wanted her to be a little old school, and I knew I wanted her room to be red. And I had this idea of putting faces on the wall because I thought that Peyton was someone who sort of felt like she wasn't seen, like people didn't really see the real Peyton. And so we did a lot of things with like the collage in her closet, had a lot of eyes on it. We had a lot of faces, you know, sort of passing judgment in a way. She had the webcam, which we used a lot more first season, and we will use again. And so anyway, Peyton's room has evolved, and it's kind of cool because it's like a living set. It's sort of art museum-ish, and she can do whatever she wants. And I always thought, you know, if I had a room when I was a kid or, you know, when I was younger that I could write on the walls or I could, you know, do whatever I wanted in my room, you know, short of tearing it down, it, you know, would have been really great. So the Where Are They Now obviously, you know, involved Ellie and Jake and Jenny, and that, you know, remember she wrote the Yellow Card lyric up there at the beginning of season 2. So, you know, we're allowed to do whatever we want. We have the lists on the door. When we were doing lists that Brooke and Peyton would have, I totally buy that Peyton would be into old school rock. Plus, she's influenced, you know, by a lot of the music that Ellie was influenced by too. We're going to learn, but like Mott the Hoople, Foghat, you know, those bands were big before a lot of our audience was born. But I totally buy it because Peyton's sort of old school and she's an old soul, and she would go back in, you know, Ted Nugent, all this sort of old classic rock. Robert Plant, Jimi Hendrix, fine. Then Metropolitan Opera artists in the cast of, I don't know, Rigoletto. I don't know, I rocked out to Rigoletto lately. So anyway, we, you know, we really worry about the albums that are in front, and then the rest of it just kind of stuffs up the room, if you know what I mean. So Peyton's closet is real, and we can go in there. We can pull this wall out, by the way. This whole wall comes out. So if we need to get, like, in season 1, she was sitting at her stereo in the closet, and she was talking on the phone with Nathan, and they were having an argument. So we just pull the wall out so we can put the camera there, and we can get the close-ups of her face, because obviously there's not a lot of room to get a camera in there. We spent less time in her closet because it was claustrophobic, and you can only get so many shots in there. And we moved her computer out eventually, and stuff like that. By the way, Living Blue. Big fan of Living Blue and Minty Fresh in general, which is the label they're on. And this guy right here is Joe Prokop, who's a really good friend of mine and a great guy. So buy the Living Blue. The number's still on the wall, by the way, from the premiere of season 3. Started with Peyton painting this number on the wall. It was kind of cryptic, and then at the end, you know, obviously we paid it off with these are the number of people that are in the world, at least at that time. And then we finished with the number 1, and, you know, sometimes all you need is 1. And the fans really responded to that. Well, we used to be able to go out this way. Look, the set is evolving so much, I don't even know my way around it anymore. All right, moving on. Here, this is pretty cool. Peyton leaves her room. Bet you didn't know this. And she just walks right out of this stage, and how great is that? That's why people always just show up at Peyton's door, at her bedroom door, and everybody goes, doesn't anyone knock in Tree Hill? Because little did you know, Peyton actually comes through like a garage door when she comes home. She goes right through there.